Hey YouTube, I want to discuss the toxic feminists attacking James Rolfe for the AVGN over not reviewing the new Ghostbusters movie and not having a keen interest in seeing it. Look, it's not misogynistic to not see a movie, especially the Ghostbusters movie. Also, it's very unprofessional to call someone names in their articles that they have written about this. And it's his right not to see the movie. He gave valid reasons why he won't see the movie. It has nothing to do with the all-female cast that the movie has. This leads me to believe, where is the backlash for having an African-American woman stereotype who has a big mouth and is loud? I mean, where's the backlash for this? I mean, it's, attacking a woman. It seems like in the feminist eyes, this does not matter to them, which is a load of bullshit. So, to me, it is equally as worse as the people boycotting the new Ghostbusters movie for having an all-female cast. James, ignore all the hate, because these toxic feminists have no idea what they are talking about. All these toxic feminists know how to do is insult men, nothing else. What these toxic feminists fail to realize is they need both genders to be born into this world. So the toxic feminists who wrote these articles about James Rolfe should be ashamed of them, of yourselves, because he did nothing to you and did nothing wrong at all. You did plenty wrong because of insulting James and his wife over and Twitter comments, and the others who refuse to see a stupid movie. It's a free country, so we can choose which movies to see and which movies not to see. Also, the new Ghostbusters movie sucks. The trailer's awful. The special effects are horrible. And it was a stupid idea to reboot the franchise because the original Ghostbusters, there was nothing wrong with it. And I agree with what James has said, and I'm behind him 100%. I feel that these toxic feminists need to be put in their place. And if I were in James Rolfe's shoes, I would file a lawsuit against the authors who wrote these articles for slander and defamation of character, because James is none of these things that they wrote, and people verified Twitter accounts who insulted James and his wife. James, just keep doing what you're doing, man. And next, I want to talk about the article from Heat Street by William Hicks that I found online. And is title of the article: Angry video game nerd James Rolfe is right, Ghostbusters will be terrible. Why are the Daily Beast, the Atlantic, Salon, and various other outlets writing a 2,000 word pieces tearing apart a YouTube film reviewer? James Rolfe of Cinemassacre, also known as the Angry Video Game Nerd, committed a frivolous crime, which he did not, in my mind, and he made a video calmly telling his fans why he was not reviewing the next Ghostbusters. Normally, no one would bat an eye when a YouTube critic passes on a film, especially one consumed as Rolfe, as his channel has over 2 million subscribers and his show is ranked 117th on Internet Movie Database's top 250 TV shows, 2 behind the Colbert Report. But Ghostbusters is unlikely any other film. It has an all-female cast, therefore anyone who criticizes it is clearly a misogynist, which is complete bullshit, because we're allowed to we're allowed to criticize it, and we're allowed not to see it if it sucks. And here's what Patton Oswalt said: I really wanted to hate the Cinemaster Ghostbusters review, but I'm not. I'm such a fan of noisy, thick saliva swallowing, it won my heart. I really don't know what to make of this tweet. Maybe he is a fan of James's, or just a normal person. And tweet number 2 from Bill Handstock. I might see the Ghostbusters like 3 or 4 times just to drink all the male tears when it's a success. Bill, the new Ghostbusters is not gonna be a success. One reason is the director insulted the demographic geeks that this movie is geared towards by calling them an asshole or assholes. And here's another set of tweets. Here's one from Dane Cook. This morning at Cinemaster, James Rolfe apparently hates that Ghostbusters are being updated with hilarious women. Well, this has yet to be determined because it's very different from, or not. And plus, Saturday Night Live does not count because making people laugh on TV is very different than making people laugh on a silver screen. And Chris Hemsworth, who's probably still a guy, oh, for crying out loud, Chris Hemsworth is in a lot of movies. He's Thor, for God's sakes. And I'll read on. I only post this because I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I never heard someone say and believe these words. What the fuck? As purely and honestly as James here. Yes, James has said that plenty of times in his videos when he's portraying the AVGN. And he can't fathom that the original Ghostbusters are making cameos in the new film. Huh. So what? The cameos don't mean anything because they're not playing the original characters. And Plays in the Rain says, I think people who have too strong of opinions about a movie. It's a movie, guys. If you don't think you would like it, don't watch it. Simple as that. If you get this worked up over a movie, I would hate to see you deal with real problems. Jeez. Exactly. I totally agree with this tweet. Because people are overreacting, and they shouldn't. It's just a movie. As we say, go on to Marissa's tweet, another verified Twitter account. Totally chill. MRA reviews the new Ghostbusters. At least Harold Ramis didn't live to see this shit. First off, you don't know if Harold Ramis would be thinking. Second of all, you don't have no idea if he's a feminist or not. Third of all, you don't know if James is an MRA or not. Finally, you don't even know if Ramis would support the movie or not. And also, I don't think Harold Ramis would even care about this crap. Same with James. As we go to tweet number 6, dude, as John Bowman says, dude, you're apparently watching Star Trek V, so... John, this has nothing to do with Star Trek V. It has to do with Ghostbusters. Get on topic. And then Amy Vernon just says, brave sexist movie critic refuses to watch new Ghostbusters. She's just announcing about the video and stuff. As we go to Jordan Hoffman, who's another verified Twitter user. Worth pointing out that the Dignus anti-Ghostbusters klutz is using Star Trek V in iconography in bad faith. He does not speak for us. First off, he's not trying to speak for you. He spoke to his fans because the fans asked him if he was going to see their movie and if he's going to review it. Are you that stupid to not realize this? I guess you are, as we go to Eric D. Snyder. And I keep fixating on his wedding ring. Someone married this man baby? First off, he's not a man baby. He's doing what he loves to do, which is filmmaking and gaming. Second of all, it's none of your business who James's wife married or James has married. Okay? And it seems like you're a misogynist for questioning who James's wife is going to marry or married to. And Daniel Carlson says probably a gold digger who just married him for Star Trek gumball dispenser. You should be sued, Daniel Carlson. You should be sued for slander and defamation of character because she's not a gold digger. I'm willing to bet she's a very nice person. That's what she seems to be from the text I've read from her as Mrs. Nerd. And you have no idea what you're talking about. As we go to Alexander Hulis, or how do you pronounce that? The only exception is why. That's the only explanation. Why would else anyone cling on to him? Dude, really, it's still none of your business what her taste in men are. You stupid idiot. And this just goes to show you that the final 3 tweets by Eric, Daniel, and Alexander, congrats, because you guys just proved that you 3 are misogynists and not the people who critique the movie or not wanting to see it. As we continue on here, so many verified tags, so much childish bullying. Yes, that is correct. They're nothing but bullies here. And they're childish as well. Here, and the articles on Rolfe are just as bad. As the Atlantic said, his reasoning dances around the simple fact that the innocent seeming movie apart from the fellow blockbusters this summer. That's a tentpole genre film starring women. He had nothing to do with, he said this has nothing to do with the female cast. Stupid guys at the Atlantic. And from the Daily Beast, if angry video game nerds can't see the ugliness that through their undue animosity towards a female-fronted movie that does not directly impact their actual real lives, and we have a lot to be afraid of than ghosts. Yeah, and put all angry nerds together. Gaming nerds together. Yeah, lump all of them together. And that's a professional way of doing things. And I said this before, I'm going to say it again, stupid people at the Daily Beast. This has nothing to do with having a female-fronted movie or the female cast at all. It has to do how the special effects the trailer showed off and how terrible the acting is. And the script writing and stuff. And the story plot. It has nothing to do with the female cast. And from 538 calls Rolfe Show a misogynic web show whose Wikipedia entry made me pine for hemlock in my coffee. It's not a misogynistic web show. You're just a freaking toxic feminist man-hater. People at the 538. I know. He does not mention anything about hating women in his web series at all. If you watched it, you know this, but you're just too stupid to realize this. And from watching Rolfe's videos makes 3 main points strangely none of them have to do with women. Yep, exactly. The best argument he makes is one he he spends far the most time on is there's no tie-in to the original franchise, despite the cameos of Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, and Ernie Hudson and Annie Potts. Essentially, they got almost the entire old cast will appear in the film, but they won't be playing their former characters. The trailer only added to the confusion by starting with 30 years ago, 4 scientists saved New York. Yes, it did add to the confusion because no one knows. No, everyone who's seen the original Ghostbusters would know this. You know, that they're trying to rewrite the story here. And this is not a good idea because it's people who know the Ghostbusters story would ignore this story at all. It's like the remakes of Halloween and the remakes of Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. They're just rewriting the story. And I know it's weird to say 30 years ago, but in this movie it's like the first one did not happen. Miss Melissa McCarthy said in an interview, "You cannot rewrite the stupid movie history or trivia history here. The movie happened. We know it happened. If you search for it on the Internet Movie Database, it will even show you this." As we go to Rolfe wanted to pass the torch moment that we got to see in Star Wars and Star Trek reboots, not just pointless cameos. Exactly. I wouldn't mind if they did that. I would probably see it if they did that, because that'd be the best gesture of doing it. Let the other guys retire and let the new cast come in and do a film. I mean, it's not a big deal. He also mentioned the trailer looks terrible, with a point of which plenty of YouTubers agree, including me, because I've watched the first trailer, and as I said earlier in this video, that the special effects are god awful, and the ghosts look like crap. It's just very god awful, and I think this is going to be a box office bomb. And also, the first trailer is the most disliked trailer on YouTube, with more than 800,000 dislikes. And that just is saying something about movie trailers. But it doesn't come close to the amount of hate the Call of Duty trailer, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare received. Over 2 million dislikes. Now it's closer to 3 million dislikes now. And that's not that. Even that has, but that game has nothing to do with misogyny. It turns out that geeks just don't like crappy trailers, or they don't like being insulted either. Rolfe also makes some points about the new Ghostbusters using the same name as the original, making distinction between the two, confusing, appearing to be shameless gaming of search engine optimization. Yep, exactly. James knows what he's talking about with this, because he did a video as the nerd about chronologically confused movie titles and sequels. As we go into whatever Rolfe's intentions are not for seeing the film, either deserve to avoid watching his beloved childhood franchise butchered before his eyes, or seeing hatred of women as boiled down to the surface after a decade on camera. He'll almost certainly be on the right side of history. That's because the new Ghostbusters will probably all be a heaping pile of garbage. Exactly. It even showed the second trailer of the film, and I'm looking at the default thumbnail for the trailer for the second movie, and it looks like shit. The CGI is terrible. That's about it for the article. It just goes to show you about the leaks about this post with a disclaimer. Then talks about, remember the cameos that Rolfe was concerned with? Turns out they're pretty bad too. Murray, a skeptic, his lines aren't good. He's kind of stiff. Why are you pretending to catch ghosts? That's a girl. He's killed, punched out the window by a rock constant dragon ghost. Dan Aykroyd, a cab driver, refuses to drive them in NYC's and Havoc. I ain't afraid of no ghost, he's saying in a hard New York accent. Ernie Hudson, Jones' uncle, owns a hearse company. When he finds out they lost the Ghostbusters car, Jones wants another one. Hudson says, I only got 4 funerals this week and I can't do it with one hearse. Jones says, I can't do it. Can't you do 2 at a time on some sides? I'm not stocking them like flapjacks. Well, the only cameo that I agree with and thinking it's a great cameo is Ernie Hudson, because he's related to one of the characters, and even though he's not playing his original character. Harold Ramis rolling in his grave. Yep. Yeah, that's about it, Well, here's one final thing. But whether or not the Ghostbusters set out to make a feminist statement, the characteristics may have shielding it from the criticism rightly deserves, and eventually the movie will have to answer for its shortcomings if it's indeed as bad as it looks. Yep. If this movie turns out to be a box office bomb, it will have a lot of things to answer for it. And if it ends up winning a Raspberry for the worst reboot ever. So, who would be on the side of history here? The film critic who predicts the terrible movie, or the horde of Twitter bullies trying to ruin a man's life? I think the right side of history is going to be on the film critic who predicts a terrible movie. And I don't see anybody seeing this movie. Any kids who are part of my generation and the generation before mine who actually watched the movies are not going to see this. And I think James is right here. I think he's very accurate, and he knows his stuff about film, because he actually made his first full-length motion picture, so he knows what goes into making a movie. So, all you have to wait and see what the box office stats go, because the movie comes out July 15th. So, until next time, this is Fender178 signing out. Have a good one.